So here we go, and if you want to pass forward, swipe that way. Lead business development for AnthroTronix, and I'm here to talk about the Defense Automated Neurobehavioral Assessment Tool and really how it can be used to address three key warfighting challenges. First is enhancing training. Second is improving soldier, leader, and team performance. And the third is developing agile and adaptive leaders. So Dana is a mobile application that serves as a brain thermometer, if you will. It is very sensitive to changes in cognitive performance due to any cause. We use evidence-based tests. Individuals serve as their own baseline, so we don't rely on normative data, which again makes it more useful. And this enables us to assess changes in cognitive performance over time. So really, Dana is the best way to capture brain-based longitudinal biometrics or longitudinal performance, so you can see how an individual's cognitive performance changes over time. So Dana was originally designed as a neurocognitive assessment tool. It was designed to detect cognitive impairment due to any cause, so concussion, PTSD, deployment-related stress, fatigue, etc. We use standardized cognitive and psychological tests. We also have embedded tests in the system so that we can detect malingering, so malingering versus real issues. It's designed as a mobile app to run on either Android or iOS platforms, making it deployable downrange, which is a key challenge with other neurocognitive assessment tests. It was the first neurocognitive assessment test to be cleared by the FDA as a medical device. We received clearance in October of 2014, and it's been demonstrated as valid and reliable in all settings, and I'll talk more about that in a couple slides. It was highlighted last year at the Military Systems Health Symposium, Research Symposium by Dr. David Smith, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, as being really one of the big successes that they had last year. So Dana, as I said, we use standardized tests, and it comes in three different configurations. There's something called Dana Rapid, which was really designed for the forward deployed medic, so that they can use it for deployed medic or corpsmen, so they can use it to quickly assess whether there's some kind of a cognitive processing issue for a warfighter. Then there's Dana Brief, which includes more tests designed to be given for follow-up concussion assessment. And this is the test that's really designed to detect impairment from any cause, cognitive impairment from any cause. And then Dana Standard, which is really for clinicians' use back in the States or someplace like Landstuhl to support diagnosis and disposition for the patient. You can also create custom configurations based on clinical need that the provider has. So here's some screenshots from Dana Rapid. So these are tests that, again, the warfighter takes on a mobile device. So they're basically interacting with the device. So on the simple reaction time test, they're shown this target, and they have to tap the center of the target. On the procedural reaction time test, they have to select one button or the other, depending on what number is being shown on the screen. On the go, no-go, again, they're making a decision, do they fire or not fire, depending on what figure pops up in the window shown on the building on the right. Here, along the right here, you can see there's a deeper description of the different tests that we give. So we're looking at simple reaction time, procedural reaction time, spatial processing, go, no-go, code substitution. These are all standardized tests that we've really turned into mobile apps. And also this screen shows you how we can track performance over time, so you can get the longitudinal sense of what's happening with an individual's cognitive processing. We've had numerous studies that have been published in clinical journals, Military Medicine, Journal of Neurotrauma, Neuroreport, etc. The key takeaways from these journals is that Dana is sensitive to changes in cognitive efficiency due to any cause. Whether it's moderate to severe PTSD, depression, fatigue, etc. It's field hardened, stable, and reliable. It's demonstrated excellent construct and predictive validity. And it's great test, retest reliability. So again, from a clinical perspective, it's a solid tool to use. In terms of where we are, in terms of technology development and funding, it's TRL 7. It's been tested in operationally relevant environments. It's been used in Afghanistan. It's been used aboard USS George Washington in high sea states and mountainous, Arctic, jungle, desert conditions. We've gotten funding from the Navy Bureau of Medicine and Surgery, Navy BUMED, as well as Army Medical Research and Materiel Command. We've had 2 Rapid Innovation Fund contracts from MRMC, and we're operating under one currently. So as I said at the beginning, we think Dana helps the Army address 3 key warfighting challenges. The first is helping, how do you enhance training for the soldier? How do you improve the effectiveness of training? How do you improve outcomes? And how do you increase soldier, leader, and team proficiency and readiness? The second is improving soldier, leader, and team performance. Again, the critical thing here is how do we continually improve the cognitive, social, and physical performance of Army professionals, and how do we assess that? And then the third assessment, the third warfighting challenge that we address is helping develop agile and adaptive leaders. Again, how do we help accelerate the development of cognitive capabilities among Army leaders? So we think with number 8, enhancing training, we think Dana helps assess training effectiveness because you can then see the impact of training on an individual's cognitive performance. In terms of number 9, improving soldier, leader, and team performance, you can measure changes in cognitive performance, in cognitive processing due to training. And the last one, we can measure changes in cognitive processing over time. So you can see the development of a leader and their cognitive ability as it goes over time. So to wrap it up, Dana excels at capturing brain-based longitudinal biometrics. And I'm happy to take any questions at this time.
Sir, first question. Is there a baseline that you compare each of the assessments to? Or?
You can, but you do not need to. So we do have normalized data, but you don't need to compare it.
Okay, so the medic who's walking around with this assessment tool, he doesn't have everyone's data in there.
Again, that depends on the concept of operations that the Army would choose to implement.
It would be more effective if you compared it to each individual soldier baseline, or?
It would, more data is always good.
Okay.
Right. Yes, sir. I'm sorry? So in terms of long-term growth, I think if you use it as to measure somebody by giving it repeatedly over time, you can then see how is the individual's cognitive performance trending over time. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? So you then get a longitudinal measurement of how they're performing. And you can compare that to training, and you can try to see if there's any correlation between the training they're going